Hello, Flickin' Fanatics, and welcome to our weekly review of Disney Plus's Marvel Studios' Miss Marvel. We are going to be discussing the third episode today, titled Destined. We want to know what you guys think of the show so far. We're going to get into our thoughts, feelings, talk about where it might be ranking in our MCU rankings. That's how that works. All right, guys, well, we will talk to you in a second. All right. Well, I've never been more prepared to talk about a show starring a 15-year-old than with a mics in my hand. And I just finished watching Herogasm for the boys.
Oh, I'm only on I just finished episode 2 earlier, and so I got 4 more to catch up on. I've been playing catch up on TV shows for like all week long for like the last 2 weeks. To be honest, I was so far behind, and then the boys, everything.
Didn't you say you had been watching Umbrella Academy though? So I think you're ahead of me on that.
Yeah, yesterday, Thursday. So Wednesday, Obi-Wan, Miss Marvel, which we're about to talk to you about, and Umbrella Academy all dropped, and I watched 5 episodes of Umbrella Academy plus Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan all on Wednesday. Plus, I also worked a 12-hour day. I had a busy
I've only watched one episode of Umbrella Academy so far. But anyways, hey everyone watching Flickin' Fanatics, whether you're new or otherwise. We're talking about Miss Marvel today. Even though I saw Elvis last night, which I enjoyed.
Elvis, I want to go see Elvis. I do want to go see that this week. I have a dentist appointment on Monday. I might go see it immediately after my dentist appointment.
Perfect. Whenever you go, it probably won't be too busy. I mean, it was opening night, which that's not an opening night crowd kind of movie, I don't think. Anyways, it was fantastic. It was great. Austin Butler transcends acting. I don't even know how to describe his performance. Whatever you think about the movie, his performance is ridiculous.
I mean, you just described it as transcends acting. That's high praise.
I understood that reference. I just wanted to point out my new favorite shirt that I'm wearing. This is Tremors. And speaking of Tremors and this show, if you want to listen to Allison Salamoni after watching Tremors for the first time, you can check out our audio-only show, but it's also on YouTube. It's just with an image. It's You've Never Seen It, or YNSI. It's on all of our audio platforms. So if you look it up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, you can hear her talk about Tremors. You can hear her talk about Citizen Kane with the one and only William Bibiani. If you don't know him from the Schmodown, you might know him as a critic from The Wrap. Also, the movie guys, Adam Witt and that was it. It was there, and then it was gone.
That was a PNG, not the JPEG I was trying to pull. So it was just overlaid on our faces instead of the actual picture.
There it is. There's the lovely Allison. Adam Witt and Paul Preston. You gave me enough time to remember everyone's names. And then also we got AJ Lancaster with, what is the title of that movie? Sorry for bothering you.
Sorry to bother you. Yeah.
Sorry to bother you. Yeah.
The Lakeith Stanfield movie. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie yet. This one I do want to see.
I got to be really honest. I have seen 2 out of the 4 movies that she's done episodes for, but I've listened to all of them, so it's been very interesting.
Yes, same. I listened to 2 out of the 4. I played the other ones, for views, but I didn't want to actually listen in case I ever wanted to see the movie, because I feel like Citizen Kane is one of those movies I should watch one day eventually. I don't know. Maybe when it's off the new release shelf, I'll get around to it.
And today's episode is brought to you by these really cool, like, Flint coasters. This is stone. No. This is stone. It's really cool. It's like, hear that? Yeah. Anyways, this one's Captain America. Anyways. So now that we are roughly 5 minutes into the show, we are going to talk about
Speaking of the MCU, I was just watching Winter Soldier, which Kamala Khan is now part of the MCU.
Your
transition.
transitions are flawless. I love it. Hello, Vapion in the chat. Hello, Mike K. Mike K saying, love the episode so far. Miss Marvel might take the top spot as long as it sticks to the landing. And that has been a big thing with not just MCU shows, but Disney Plus shows as a whole, is can they stick the landing? I think Miss Marvel's off to a very strong start. For me, I was a big Kamala Khan fan before the show. Now I'm hoping that Vapion means like I was a fan and continuing to be a fan, not like the show made me not a fan. I was a fan before the show.
Vapion actually just says that he was a big Kamala Khan before this show. So he has made a transition, and we don't know what he is now. But we're assuming it's a fan of the show. That's what we're hoping.
Vapion embiggened and became a big Kamala Khan. Yeah, I'm loving the show so far.
Unrelated, John, but thank you.
If you've watched the last 2 episodes, you know that I'm enjoying the show. So no shocker, I'm not going to dangle a carrot in front of you as far as what my thoughts were. I also love this episode. I will say that do not misunderstand me. This is my least favorite of the 3. However, it's like, it's a toss-up. Right. I think they're all great. And I'm not sure which one I like more between 1 and 2. I just know that 3. Maybe I was enjoying the introductions.
It's like an A+, A, and an A-, but like they're all in that range. Like you just have to rate them somewhere. And I say the same thing about all the MCU properties too, even the ones like most people don't like. Every MCU property, in my opinion, is at least a 6 out of 10. Like they're all watchable. It's just various levels of how much I like them. And this show is no exception. Unlike some other properties where, we're waning on this or waning on that. I've been on board for every single thing they're doing. And especially because the show, it's like a movie. It is 6 episodes, similar enough to, Obi-Wan, which we're going to talk about later. But like this show is 6 episodes. So there's going to be
disclaimer. I'll be a little nicer this week.
There's going to be a ramp up exposition. All right. There's going to be a slight lull before they hit the peak and they hit the climax of the show. And that's kind of what this episode was, where we got actually a lot more backstory. We got backstory into the history, and it started with a flashback back in the 40s.
Somebody's going to fact check us on
1939?
Because it's around the time of Partisan, right? Or is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was like World War II or something. I don't remember now. And I don't know the dates on that. But
I will preface by saying worldwide, I am not a well-educated man, and I will take criticism. And if people want to educate us in the chat, please do that. The more I hear it, the better chance I am of remembering it. Yes. Same with, there's a lot of names and characters, and right now it's content central. Like whether it's movies, TV shows, I'm ingesting so much right now. So if I don't quite remember something exactly right, I do apologize, but I do want to share my thoughts and feelings on the show. Bruno continues to be fantastic. Like you said, I love the opening shot or the opening scene that we get as a flashback where we are introduced to Kamran's mom, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And also Kamala's grandma?
Great grandma. Yeah.
Great grandma. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
it's her grandma's mother because her grandma at the end tells her to come to Marrakesh. I don't remember what the location was.
So, severed blue arm is where they find the bangle, and it says we will need 2. So we know there's another one.
Yep.
Now, does Kamala have the other one, or is this the one that Kamala ended up with? Not sure.
I assume this is the one because her grandma put the bangle on, and then the thing started to fall, and they had to separate. So
You're
I'm assuming,
right.
And she says the sister, cousin, I believe they were sisters,
or in the flashback.
In the flashback, yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the flashback, the Kamran's mother, were they sisters or cousins? I can't remember now. I think they were sisters, right? She says that was the last time I ever saw your great grandmother. So they had been separated ever since then. They were lost. We thought that she was lost. That's essentially what she said.
Kamala's getting a big exposition done of explanation behind the story of the bangle and all this other stuff. And we're starting to maybe get warm feelings about this family for a second.
For a moment, yeah.
for a moment. And I'm liking everything going on with the family with the bangle. There is We're diving more into the mystery. We're getting to see Kamala use her powers more. Is it flashing too far ahead to get to start going into the wedding, her brother's wedding? Amir, is that right?
No, we don't have any structure. You
No
talk
structure.
about what you want to talk about.
And by the way, guys, you see that Streamlabs link down below. We got a new shtick for you. Anything that you guys donate or put onto Streamlabs, we will do our best to do our ASMR voices and read off your Streamlabs, and we'll take turns on that. Everything involving Pakistani, everything involving Pakistani culture in this, I'm super in love with. The vibrant colors, the music, the dancing, just the family relationships and stuff. And there's so many things that we can relate to, but then also stuff that's new for us to ingest. And I'm really loving it. I love how supportive Bruno is. I'm going to keep talking about Bruno because I love that kid. I think he's one of the best, nicest characters that's been introduced in these Marvel TV shows. And he's darn near flawless. And he's a great friend for Kamal to have.
Yeah, everything he does so earnestly and with actual without an agenda, without a a turn of sorts. Like he doesn't have an ulterior motive to anything. He other than you could tell he's in love with Kamala, and that's why he's hesitant about going to Caltech and stuff like that. But he essentially is us because we're not super powered, obviously. So he is us to that, except just super way smarter.
Other strength of this show. I'll circle back to the wedding. But speaking of the wedding, Abu, their father, he's amazing. He's very supportive, and the speeches that he gave to Amir when Amir's like, I have $720 in my account and I'm getting married. I also love her brother. This show makes me happy. I guess that's what it boils down to. I feel joy when I watch this show just because I really like watching all the characters and stuff. But I thought that was so impactful. And then there's the conversation with is it her Ami? Is that what her mom? Where she talks about Kamala's saying that she has this big mountain that she doesn't know how to climb, and her mom says, America was my mountain. That was my thing that I wanted more than anything in the world, and then I got here and it was very hard. And that was also touching. The immigrant story is always not only fascinating but often heart-wrenching, but at the same time inspirational. And so we got a lot of really good core moments between characters in here. And then in the later half, we did get some action beats at the wedding after an incredible dance number, which I enjoyed a lot. Allison Salamoni, she's awake. Hi, Allison.
Shocked.
What did you think about the wedding stuff?
I thought it was fun. It was a ton of fun how they did this whole choreographed dance number.
And Brown Jovi.
Brown Jovi was a highlight for sure. And then of course, they're doing their own plugs and they're like, we also do this, we also did that, hire us for everything. So that was fun. I think you wanted to see everything work out for Kamala and Kamran, and we think it's gonna, because she texted him and she was like, I want to help you, but we just need more research, right? And he's like, yeah, cool, no problem. And we're like, all right, cool. They're gonna have a fun family thing, and of course, then we're flashing back and forth to the other scene where Kamran's mom was not happy with him. And so they're basically like, no, actually, we're going to go in their wreck shop. We're going to go kill everyone. We need to take exactly what we want. And so there's no more discretion. They know where the bangle is and they want it.
We are skipping over the fact that they confirmed that they are jinn, which seemingly so. Again, uneducated white man here. Seems to be like the Pakistani boogeyman. And also, sometimes they're referred to as genies and stuff, but there's a lot of different things that they've been called. But they call themselves the clandestine. And is that the severed blue arm of Will Smith's genie? Don't know yet. Please wait and find out.
I think so. We find the bangle. Do they talk about the bangle in the same sense that it comes from their culture, or did they talk about it?
Their dimension or something? I thought.
Okay, so they talked about it in the sense where they need it and its partner so they can get home. But do they say that this is from our species, our culture? I don't remember that part.
It
And
might not, but it being on a blue arm makes me curious. Now,
exactly,
is
that
that
was
a
my next
Jin
thing.
arm or is that Kree? Or because the Kree is very tied into Marvel, like Captain
Right,
Marvel stuff.
right.
So I'm not
Kree, scrolls, they're very tied in together, and they could easily be like experiments from the
yeah.
Kree tens of thousands of hundreds of
Which is
thousands of
what the
years
Inhumans
ago,
were. The
which is what
Inhumans
the
were,
Inhumans
yeah,
are. And I was
exactly.
waiting for them, to be honest, I was waiting for them to drop that line going, we are called many things. We like to call ourselves Jinn. We've also been called the Inhumans. I was waiting for that to happen and it just didn't. I was like, no.
Well, yeah,
Because
they're
I
from
think
another
I think it's
dimension, not the moon. Because I'm pretty sure the
yes.
Inhumans was on the moon. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's been long enough since the ABC series that people have put it out of their minds. And Kevin Feige could easily come out in one single sentence and go, "Yeah, we're just going to pretend that Inhuman show was in a multiverse. That was in a, that you were just watching it. It had every other timeline built into it except for they were a divergent timeline that was part of the multiverse, blah blah blah." They could easily explain that away in one sentence and everyone would hop on board, because we've gotten to that point now in, with Doctor Strange and with Spider-Man, where we're like, yeah, cool, that makes sense. We'll roll with that.
Did you catch this? I didn't see this.
I didn't see the specific symbol, but I've assumed since the 10 Rings came out, we get the post-credit scene with Banner, with Captain Marvel, and Wong basically saying, this is not of this world. These things have been here for tens of thousands of years. I assume that everything in Phase 4 is going to tie together with
And
an
Kevin Feige
otherworldly.
has kind of said as much. He said shortly
Yeah.
things will be more clear about this phase.
Yeah.
And
within the month, apparently, because Marvel's going to Comic-Con, so I think we're going to get a little bit of information.
D23 is somewhere around the corner too, I believe, as well.
September, August, yeah.
And we are, let's see, what's today? 24th. We're like 2 weeks from, less than 2 weeks from Thor: Love and Thunder. So we'll definitely be discussing that on this channel. Yeah. So taking back from where you left off, when Carmen's family, or adoptive family maybe, comes into the Jinn, come in and they start attacking the wedding, and Kamala has to use her powers defensively, kind of as a reflex, because she's not trained with them. So she's fighting off these goons that have these really cool mythical weapons that I was super digging, like kind of like flails and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy had a belt that basically turned into a whip, and I was like, "That's rad. That's cool. I like that."
That's cool.
And so all hell breaks loose. But we see once Bruno is in danger, she, for the first time, as far as I can tell, uses her abilities offensively, and she makes the big fist, which is very akin to what she would do in the comics. It's just a different method of it, but then punches some of the goons, for lack of better words. Like I said, I'm gonna be terrible with names. Also, not doing our review immediately after the show and then ingesting a bunch of new content since then screws me up a little bit. Howard, I'm loving it. I'm loving the action.
Oh, yep. Here we go.
Find it? Are you pulling it up?
Yeah. Thanks to Vapion.
Vapion.
Where is? Oh no! Hold on. Damn it.
Alan Smithy said, "Hey, are you guys doing another show in 8 minutes? Our Obi-Wan show is in 8 minutes." Yes, sir. Thank you very much for
we are
talking about the series finale and also the series as a whole. Probably no speakeasy tonight, just so you guys know. But next week, when we have less things to review, we'll probably get into doing a speakeasy again. Miss that stuff. It's good for the soul.
Next week, we're going to talk about Umbrella Academy, and I'll be caught up on The Boys by then, and everything else, everything in between.
And get ready for August, everybody, because Sandman will be dropping, and it'll be a Sandman takeover on the channel. I don't care who's here or when. 24 hours, Sandman news. That's us.
Sorry, hold on. I do have that pulled up right here. I had to switch browsers, so it would actually let me share it. Can you see the 10 rings on the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But it's not only just the 10 rings, it's the 10 rings with symbols.
Yep.
So it's
Well,
like
it's
they're
actually
the
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is 10. Yeah, 10 rings with
wow
symbols. So yeah, we got
with the swords in the middle too.
yep, which I totally
Wow,
didn't catch at first.
never. Thank you. Glad you guys are
Interesting.
here. Appreciate you. Um,
And I've watched a few review shows. I always like to kind of see what other people's opinions are before we do our own, to see if I missed something, go back. No one has mentioned that literally until this moment. I don't think I had heard that a single time. I wasn't watching like new rock stars deep dive videos, but just standard reviews and stuff. And I hadn't heard that until now. So thank you, Vapion. Appreciate it.
yeah. New Rockstar isn't as cool as us, anyways. So that's why we
Yeah,
have
no.
so many more subscribers.
Stand by
Speaking
for our
of
new rock stars reaction videos.
yeah, and if you guys are new to the channel, obviously please subscribe, like, give us ideas for things to do and stuff. But I want to know, for those of you guys watching, what was your favorite part? And also, oh man, I don't have my soundboard up. But Sean, we have a Streamlab. Do we want to
We
rock,
do.
paper, scissors? Who gets to ASMR?
No, I'll take the first one. First one is from Mr. John Lestrina, always a supporter of the show. John, we appreciate you and everything you do. And I'm about to burp.
This better be good.
I've been drinking too much Celsius. There's a billion things wrong, but not in this moment. Dominic Dretto. I don't know how good that was. That was a terrible ASMR voice, I think.
Well, if people keep donating, we might slowly get better.
There's a billion things wrong, but not in this moment. Dominic Dretto.
That's good too.
I think that's better. A little deeper. It sounded more like Dom. Sounded more like Dom. Sounded like the Iron Giant, if I'm being honest.
That's right. All right.
Also,
Bruno, I'm bouncing back to random moments here. Bruno does tell Kamala that he is thinking about taking position at Caltech, either before, or after, or during them looking into the Jinn. I did like that Abu was the one telling Bruno all about the Jinn, kind of almost jokingly. But we find out a lot about that. John Lestrina does say the second version was better. Well, I'm sure the second version was better than any 5 versions that I could attempt to do with ASMR.
We do hear Abu telling him in the Circle Q, I believe is the name of his convenience store. That is his, I guess.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle Q, Ted.
Right, exactly. I think it's always fun when like the family knows more information, or you know, there's always that character. But of course, you know, Kamala can't bring it up because she wants to keep it a secret, keep everyone safe. You know, the whole Spider-Man angle where, you know, I have to protect people by pushing them away type of thing. And that seems to be kind of what we're getting from her. I wish, and I thought we were I wish she would just come out and kind of tell her family and like trust her friends. And obviously Nakia knows by the end. But
Nakia is kind of what I wanted to wrap up with a little bit, because Nakia is peppered throughout the show. We get the confrontation with the DODC at the mosque, and forgive me for not knowing the position, but the leader at the mosque, great character. Hey, he had the line, "Good is not what you are; it's a thing that you do."
Yes,
something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. In the comics originally, that is her father that says the line, but her father was busy giving Amir a great rousing speech.
Right.
I like him a lot, and then him telling the DODC, you know, next time take off your shoes, and that whole moment, and Nakia stepping up and being like, you know, you can't come in here without a warrant. And it's like, oh, did you learn that in homeroom? No, like CSI or whatever, but I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Law and order, but I'm not wrong.
Get out.
Yeah,
I love her, and she gets nominated to be a board member for the mosque, and that's all cool.
Ratified, where she became a board member.
Yeah. And we, at the end, some people are like, oh, it's her villain origin story. She's mad about being lied to. And I was like, no, she's being completely human. Like, that is, I think, anyone's reaction. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Girl, like, you know, we're like sisters. So, you know, I'd be mad. I'd be mad too. But I'm loving her. The more we get of every character has been fantastic. Obviously, I dislike the DODC lady, but I think you're supposed to, so it's fine.
I think we're supposed to, and I think we're gonna get a semblance of her maybe possibly being a scroll, or at least being, and because I think that's what the consensus is, and like a lot of reviews and stuff, where we know something is wrong, something's going on, and we've already seen the scrolls infiltrate, you know, whatever. I guess it's not Shield anymore, but you know, Captain or Nick Fury and the other agent, which I'm brain farting on, Colby Smulders. But
Oh,
So I
Maria Hill.
think that Maria Hill. So I think they could have infiltrated other avenues as well. And I wonder if the guy is as culpable as the woman, or if if they're both, or if only one of them is, type of thing. Because she definitely seems like more of a bitch. Which maybe
Whoa!
we're supposed to hate her and not him, and it's actually going to be him. That's going to be the twist on it at the end. She's just a shitty human being, shitty racist human being. But
She was all too happy to kick down some mosque doors. It's
she
not a
was
good look.
very ready. Yeah, very stereotypical. And yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, all
We'll
around
find out.
good episode. We have hit the halfway mark for Miss Marvel. So we got episodes 4, 5, and 6 to round out. I'm liking the pacing so far. Sometimes you don't know what the pacing feels like overall until you get to the end. So we'll see how it lands. I think their last endeavor, I thought Moon Knight landed pretty well, but didn't land perfectly for everyone, so that's okay. Falcon and Winter Soldier, bit rushed. So they're a little all over the Book of Boba Fett as far as Disney stuff goes, so far, so good. That's what I'll say. I think for me, and I said this on Twitter, I believe, this is the strongest first 3 episodes, I think, of a Marvel series. Now, that is my feeling. That is not me trying to force that upon anyone else, but that's how I'm feeling right now.
Sure.
Right now, Miss Marvel's my number 3. WandaVision's been staying number 1. Moon Knight's number 2. Miss Marvel's number 3, but if it keeps up this very charming, very joyous pace and tone and everything, it could bump up to number 2. I don't think it's likely to catch WandaVision. I was just so enraptured with that particular series. But I'm loving it. Hopefully you guys are loving it too. Let us know if you're not loving it. Tell us why. There's some people are like, oh, it's too kiddie. And I'm like, you have no soul. You probably don't like Pixar movies either. Anyways,
I think it's
whatever your name is.
It's definitely good, and it's better than what the alternative other show that we've been getting, other than the finale itself on Wednesdays. So I think comparatively, it's been much better. Whereas
What show is
I
that,
wonder,
Sean, and are we about to talk about it?
a show that we're about to talk about, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and a series wrap up as a whole, coming soon in about 2 minutes or less, as soon as we wrap this show up. But I was going to say, like, compared to, I wonder if something like Moon Knight, which just ended, which had its own solo day and drop, right? There was nothing else competing with it. I wonder if we would have felt the same if we were able to compare that with another show, because I had some issues with some pacing and direction. I love the whole story of Moon Knight. There was just some technical issues I had with, whereas this show, I have zero issues with anything that's going on, and I'm loving it all. So this one is above Moon Knight for me, but we also haven't hit the landing. We're only halfway there.
Right. And all I can do is compare 3 to 3. I try to be fair when ranking shows. And the only reason I don't do 3 for 3 with like WandaVision is because WandaVision was 9 episodes. So I go like the halfway mark of WandaVision. So anyways, great stuff. Looking forward to next week. And yeah, we're going to catch you guys over on our Obi-Wan review, series finale review. And next week we'll be reviewing episode 4 of this. So cool beans. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for those that donated to the channel. Helps us immensely. We appreciate it greatly. And we hope you guys keep it real. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple minutes. Stick around. And here's the intro video.